Thamus simply takes for granted, and therefore does not feel it necessary to say, that writing is not a neutral technology whose good or harm depends on the uses made of it. He knows that the uses made of any technology are largely determined by the structure of the technology itself. That is, its functions follow from its form. This is why Thamus is concerned not with what people will write, he is concerned that people will write. It is absurd to imagine Thamus advising, in the manner of today's standard brand technophiles, that if only writing would be used for the production of certain kinds of texts and not others, let us say, for dramatic literature, but not for history or philosophy, its disruptions could be minimalized. He would regard such counsel as extreme naivete. He would allow, I imagine, that a technology may be barred entry to a culture. But we may learn from Thamus the following. Once a technology is admitted, it plays out its hand. It does what it is designed to do. Our task is to understand what that design is. That is to say, when we admit a new technology to the culture, we must do so with our eyes wide open. And I want to take a pause for a moment and just talk about a very simple technology to illustrate this point. In America, you can go into any home improvement store or even to a drugstore and get a key reproduced. Part of this is the keys in America tend to be quite simple in their design, but we never had an industry, at least not so well established for many, many centuries, of people who make keys for a living. So these machines effectively put those people out of business, just like the photo booths put the photo developers out of business. This was not allowed to happen in France because the people who make keys, they also fix your shoes. They're cobblers. And between those two sources of income, making people's keys and cobbling their shoes, you can make a pretty decent living in France. And they're protected. And so these sorts of things are put into place against technologies to preserve the way the society is constructed.